Welcome to Apex Esports League. I'm JT. Tonight we're on Project Cars 2 for the final round of the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. And the last round we are off to Japan for the Fuji GP. Tonight's session we've got Division 2. Qualifying is 15 minutes, weather is light cloud. Then the final race is 19 laps. Weather conditions are medium cloud, light cloud through to clear. There's a mandatory pit. Then we'll have a 10-minute break as we gear up to head into Division 1. They've got 15 minutes of qualifying. Weather conditions are clear, and then their final race is also 19 laps. Weather will progress from clear, light cloud through to heavy cloud with a mandatory pit. We'll look at the standings. So after round 4, we have Spray and Pray leading the championship with 544 points, and then the Pretender not too far behind, and with the big points up for grabs tonight, still within range of a championship win. And then for Division 1, we have DK1 Rush in similar situation, very similar to points. So he's leading with 552 points, and Coco Dog on 474, so still within that range of a championship win, so tonight being the decider. In the previous round, we were at Donington Park GP. We had Rooney 9015 take the clean sweep with taking pole, victory, and the fastest lap. And then we saw pretty much the same thing occur in Division 1 with DK1 Rush taking the clean sweep as well. So we'll quickly look at the track, and we're in Japan. Game session time is 9 AM. Track length is 3.9 kilometers, and there's 16 turns. It's a very good, fast, technical track with lots of passing opportunities, so it's a little bit more open up for the drivers to make their way around for some passes, which is unlike the more very technical tracks that we've had so far for the series. It's going to be nice and exciting to see them finish up at Fuji. Hey, Steph. For those just joining us for the stream, if you haven't done so, don't forget to hit that follow button. Oh no, Pretzel's just cupped himself a grid place penalty. He's speeding in the pits. Having forgotten to hit that pit limiter. And as you join us for stream, do jump in the chat, let us know who you're cheering on for. We've got Steph there cheering on Spray and Pray. Spray's had a fantastic run in the series. He had a great battle last week with Rooney. Rooney getting the clean sweep. Will he be able to do so again tonight? And the Pretender with his debut series with Apex Esports League coming second in the championship, and then just within reach of a win with the big points on the line. And with qualifying, there's 25 points up for grabs for pole position. You can have a solid run tonight and be well ahead of Spray. That's where he's going to be within shot of getting that win. And Spray's not going to have to be too far back if he can stay up towards the top few and still qualify nicely. Should just manage to have enough points to be able to come through tonight as the championship winner. Otherwise, it will come down to post-race stewarding and the results and the standings, and just seeing how close it'll come to it when we go do that over the next couple of days. Drivers just getting out on their first out laps. We should see the next time around being the first timed laps coming through. Dirty. Yeah, gotta remind Pretzel. Pretzel copped himself several good grid place penalties in previous rounds. I think he even got up to about 4 grid places in one session before dropping out and having to come back in, and then instantly stung again for another 2. And if you are very prone to forgetting that pit limiter button, having it actually not assigned on your wheel is the way to do it, so the game will automatically apply the limiter when you head out of your pit box. The only thing you have to worry about is actually pulling that car up just before the speed limit applies in the pits. That's the only time you will get stung, is if you're entering in too quick. Yeah, Steph, it's been a very good series between the two divisions, even lap times being very similar. Been a great series to see drivers be very well evenly matched. And usually to try and get that sort of level playing field, default setup series is usually the way to do it. But just with these cars, they're a fantastic car to be able to try and use for learning how to use setups. You can notice a big difference, and it doesn't do too much of an advantage. So if you don't know a whole lot about it, you can get a fair bit out of your car still from a few minor settings. They are one of my favourite cars to drive. Corby takes pole position. We did have Pretzel cross the line with first pole setting time. Pretzel's going to need a good strong qualifying time, so he can take into account that grid place penalty. Rooney comes through the third quickest, Spray in the fourth, and then brings the car straight back into the pits. So he's set a 158, with Corby breaking into the 157s for the first time lap. Dan Pierceman seeing a 202, a little bit slippery there. And don't forget that we also have those sound effects controls down underneath the stream, so you can cheer on your drivers, applaud, boo, or a whole bunch of other fun sound effects. So enjoy yourself playing those over the stream. We'll keep making our way down through the list so we can cover all drivers' liveries. And those first time lap, 8:2:11. Seeing Dan Boogan get a time on the board here. That's a 2:12 set by Dan. And then we'll jump on board for a lap from one of the drivers in a moment, so we can get to know the track layout. And then we have Balaki as well as DG. Looks like Balaki trying to get some temp into those tyres. Getting some very quick times coming through now. Ooh, Corby's just gone off for a spin after just setting a 155. Pretzel coming up for a lap. A lot of slide as he comes around that final corner. Oh, we've just had DG go off into a spin. That would have been his first time lap, I do believe. And very light on fuel here. He's only got 2.2 litres. He could be on board for a super quick lap. Done a 1:57. Just brakes a little bit. It's a very sharp hairpin for turn 1, especially coming down with the big amount on the slide. Just drifts through the corner. He needs brakes. Slides the car right out onto the curb. A few of these curbs are slightly raised. Oh, he's going to bring it into the pits. Who else have we got that's in a similar spot? There we are. It's only just a corner ahead. On board with the Pretender. Very tricky corner to not run wide on. There's a few hairpins here. A lot of good fast corners. And down into the chicanes. Very tricky to get that apex as you don't get a lot of looking whilst racing in cockpit view. A lot of sweeping corners before they come on to the final corner. That crest can easily start to put the car into a slide. You can see just how wide the track is. It gives ample opportunity for passing. Unlike last week at Donington, it's rather fast and technical, but not a whole lot of passing room. See how Pretender goes as he crosses the line. Just slightly off, so we're seeing the car get up to probably at 202, I think, before hitting the anchors. I saw him at 201. Big slide. Pretender in the 156. Corby still holding that pole with a 155.9. Rampray qualifying in third. He's in a pretty good position. He's very similarly timed to Pretender. And if he does qualify in position behind, it's not going to be too drastic. It's only a few points difference. It'll be the race finishing point that's going to have the larger difference between the finishing positions. Rennie currently qualifying 5th, just behind Pretzel. Pretzel does have that one grid place penalty. That'll see him move up into 4th if the times remain the same. We've got 3 minutes left. Hey Killer, thanks for joining us. Yeah, doing well in the championship. It's sad not to see you on track tonight, Killer. All drivers now got a time on the board. 22 seconds separating first to 12. DG coming on the end of another lap. Balvin improve his time here. He's done a 2:18. Yeah, it's much better. A 2:04, so it's only 8.3 seconds separating the field. The boy setting a 2-minute, qualifying 11th. Marky Mark also in the 2-minute mark. There's Dan and Balaki. Balaki's sitting right in that slipstream. It's probably going to help Balaki for his lap time. Balaki moves up into 5th position. Dan in 8th. That was very well timed for Balaki. Rooney's just bumped himself up into 3rd position, so he's now moved Pretender down a spot. That's adding an extra gap in between the 2 championship leaders, Spray and Pray and Pretender. You can see a bit of tyre smoke as they drift through that corner. Tyre wear's probably going to be taking a thrashing tonight. Yeah, we'll have prizes up for grabs. It'll be Apex eSports League stubby coolers. So don't have the fantastic prize that we had for the Skip Fathers with the Logitech G. Hopefully we'll be getting some more upper market prizes soon for our Project Cars 2 drivers. Cool boy, he's just moving himself up into 9th position, setting a 159. Those qualifying completes, that's final laps now. Corby's holding the pole position. Corby running rather wide on those curbs. It took a little bit of a battle to try and not have that car go into a spin. Bottom of the car scraping out on that curb, so it actually starts doing a grind over the curb. Both Rooney and Spray have parked up the cars. Can the Pretender come through on this lap and improve his position? If he can move up a couple of spots, it's going to be very good for his chasing down of Spray for that championship win out of the final round. It's going to be a very well timed here, coming up behind another car. I think that's in behind Corby. Slingshots around. Did 156. He improves his time. It was only by about 0.005. But not enough to go up for a position. There's Balaki reversing over the line. He's going to finish up in backwards. Marky Mark having some issues, or is he going to try and do a burnout for us in the last 30 seconds? Oh, and DG just shaved 3 seconds off his previous best. He's gotten it down to a 2-minute .8, so it's only 4.9 seconds separating all the drivers, so he's very close. We have Corby 387 taking the final pole position, and then the starting grid is then followed by Rooney, Spray and Pray, Pretender, Balaki, and then we've got Pretzel, who's got the grid place penalty. He moved down into 7th, and that'll see Dan Boone move up into 6th. Then we got Marky Mark, Cool Boy, Dan PS Man, Simo Simsel, and DG. So that is very close with only 4.9 seconds separating 12 cars, so it's going to be exciting to see what happens in the race. Over the grid now. Ah, okay, Crunchy. Yeah, you see playing with Spray in other games. Yep. That's good to be able to see us come over and give him some support. Good seeing all family and friends alike coming in, cheering them on. We've been seeing some fantastic racing and many a time, even seeing world record times being beaten within races. So it's spectacular to see, and they deserve all the support. They put in a lot of hard practice and then put in a good, solid, clean race. The good thing with the starting camera at Fuji is just the good shot that we get for the starting grid. We get to see a good amount of traffic and looking for cars darting all different directions, and there's ample room for passing on the straight, but it can get a little bit chaotic just depending on if there is some slower getaways. Cars darting each direction, so they're going to have to be very cautious of their other drivers around them. We're about to see the lights go green for the final time. The Formula rookies. Emma away, and a very good start by Spray. A little bit of a bog down from Rooney, but he's still managing to pull up. Rooney's taken the lead. It was Cobby, it was bogged down. The drivers scrambling to find that track position for turn one. Rooney and Corby already side by side. Spray's dropped back a little bit. Pretender's moved up into third, and Balaki is side by side with Spray. And the Pretender gets a good run, as well as Balaki on the outside. I'm not sure if Corby's having some issues with his car, or if that was a slowdown potentially. We've already got some spacing between our first four. There's now 3 seconds separating Corby and Simo. Oh, there's just been some contact. That's a huge hit. Dan's just gone off, and somehow manages to flick that car back around. Actually, it was Dan Pierce, man. Marky Mark was also tangled up in that. Surprising, no damage from that. It's going to be an interesting one to check back on the replay. Ooh, Pretender, that bit of oversteer sees him nearly dart right out and making contact with Balaki. Balaki's now moved up into position 2. Our championship leader dropping back into 10th position. Not sure what quite happened with him. Rooney now has a 0.7 lead as of lap 2. Spray heading into the pits. Hopefully it's not too lengthy of a stop. Car doesn't look overly damaged. Corby's reclaimed a couple of positions. He may have just been abiding by a slowdown. He might have just ran slightly wide on the track. Balaki hanging very tight to these three. Then Coolboy in 5th position, slowly starting to bring that gap in on them. He's got a good amount of open track in between. Not too much pressure from behind. Balaki trying to find an opening to get around Pretender. Spray rejoins, is back in position 10. Pretzel also heading into the pits. Spray wasn't intending on pitting till midway for the race or towards the back end. That's going to have to do him for his pit. So hopefully he's gone in with enough strategy to be able to last out the remaining 16 laps. To be able to recover several positions when the rest of the field head in for their mandatory pit. Corby catching some huge ground on Rooney. Trying to hold that inside line. We got Pretender sitting in the toe of Corby. He slingshots out. He's going to go for a pass on the two of them, but wasn't enough momentum yet, not just before the chicanes. These drivers putting some pretty big pressure on each other. We're starting to see 1:55 lap times, so basically seeing qualifying laps being done just in the first few laps, and they're running significantly more fuel. And they're quickly pulling away from position 5 now. They've got a 9-second lead. Colby moves up into P1, but Rooney's going to use, that's Pretender, sorry, getting up alongside. Rooney dropped right back. Pretender's now in the lead. Slingshot out and around. He's going to be carrying a lot of speed to try and shave off. He's on that rev limiter. He's getting every bit of speed you could get out of that car. There'll be some pressure on now for Pretender. Oh, Balaki's just gone off. Looks like he may have taken some damage. Not sure if he pulled that up before the wall just in time. Car appears to be holding out okay. That may require an early pit for Balaki as well. Damboon just gets around Simo, but not quite. He just dropped a position. Mikey Mark taking advantage there, making a 2-car pass. A little bit of slip from Simo, that's cost him some time. Dan's going to be right on his tail now. The drivers trying to break that slipstream. This is where Pretender got the opportunity. There goes Blarkey just off in the distance. We could see him peeling off into the pits. He must have taken some damage. should see Dan PS Man be able to move up a position whilst Balaki is in the pits. Gray's still currently 52 seconds away from the lead. Balaki's going to come back out on track ahead of him. Yeah, race leaders still not giving each other a break. Oh, a little bit of tyre contact in the chicane. That was very close. Dan now having dropped back a little bit from Simo. Currently on lap 5. Not sure if that's this delayed camera or if DG may be off track. Not sure if his car is actually glitched there, or if he's taken some heavy damage. Car may have a clipping issue as well. We have Pretzel in 11th position. That's Balaki just in behind him. Balaki's currently in 9th position. And then one lap ahead, Pretzel having to head into the pits early on as well. Gray still holding 10th. He's only 8 seconds away from Balaki in 9th position. Van Perseman in 8th. Van Boon in 7th. Starting to close that gap on Simo yet again. And we didn't carry a whole lot of speed. This is going to be a good opportunity for Dan to make a move. There's some good fast corners. He's going to have to be able to hold his line. Brilliant pass. Just tucks in time. Ready for the chicanes. It slightly put him offline though. Yeah, now up in 5th. Dan in 6th, Simo in 7th. Marky Mark running in 5th position. Poor Boy up in 4th. Pretender up in 3rd. These three still holding very tight. Big slide from Pretender through turn 1. Rooney in P2. Corby, our current race lead, run lap 7 of 19. Oh, and Rooney goes for an inside pass. Did put him on the outside for the next corner, but he managed to hold Corby at bay. For those that don't have chat, DG jumping into the Twitch chat saying he ended up having an engine failure, 99 engine damage, but could limp the car back to the pits. So he's had to retire that car out, or it's still stuck where it is. It is something that we've noticed with these cars, that they can take catastrophic damage we do have mechanical failures set to off, that you can't actually blow engines. But we've seen a few cars take terminal damage. Rooney and Pretender side by side. We're Rooney get a huge run. Going to be interesting just who has to yield here. Rooney slightly ahead. Rooney holds that lead. Pretender's not giving up though. He's now sandwiched in between. Corby sitting hot tight on his tail. Oh, there's just been contact between Dan Persman and Bolaki. Spray was just in behind them. They managed to avoid any contact with them. And that's just happened just in front of the pit entrance. That is very lucky. So it's now the second stop for Bolaki. Spray now moving up into 8th position. Got about 15 seconds between himself and Simo Simzel. Difference in lap times currently is about 5 seconds. And we should see Spray potentially looking to get around Simo within the next few laps. Spray can hold out after having pit in early. He's going to be able to recover a fair few positions. They won't be out of reach of still scoring some decent points. He can keep himself nice and clean for the remainder of the race. Pretender makes the move on Rooney. And then we've got Corby now moving on up to take the lead. These three just swapping with each other just about every lap. These guys have not given each of them a break whatsoever. We are nearing that halfway point. Rooney right up the tail of Pretender. There's no room for error there. Crunchy, not too sure. I haven't done the maths. I think there's about 54, 57 points difference. There's 240 points up for a win. So it's double that of the normal rounds. So as long as Spray finishes, I think, within the first 5, I think he should be fine points-wise to be able to maintain that gap. There we go again. Let's swap around down pit straight. Just with how long pit straight is, this is where things could get very interesting for a finish. If these drivers stay as close as they are, we could very well see a very NASCAR style strategy for taking the win right at the last instant. All you got to do is just stay behind that lead car, coming in with some good momentum in the final corner, and then just stay in that draft, and then a slingshot around just before the finish line. Otherwise, you're going to have to be well and truly probably about 2.5 seconds ahead of position 2 to be able to not have that advantage of the slipstream to get you on pit straight. Rooney starting to pull ahead a little bit. We now have Mikey Mark up in 4th position. We did have Coolboy up in 4th. He has been in the pit. Not sure if it was severe damage or if it's just because we've reached halfway point. He's just getting it out of the way at that point. Yes, you are right, Crunchy. 84-point lead by Spray over Pretender. That's 80 points difference between 1st and 5th. Qualifying points and potential bonus lap. Setting the fastest lap, getting those bonus points. It's an extra 5. And then now heading into the pits as well. Nearly 3 wide, and they're coming up to some lap cars. We can hear some tyres screeching through the chicane just ahead. On the bonnet of Rooney's car. See how tight these guys have been. Oh, a lot of slip from all of them. Throwing these cars around. And looking to break that stream. Oh no, he's going into the pits. It was a tricky little manoeuvre there by Corby. He's probably wondering why they were chasing him off so much. On that rev limiter, you cannot get any more speed out of the car. Once again, swap positions. Corby in and out now. See, Marky might move up a position. We'll see Spray now up into 5th position. Having just gotten past Simo. The big question for Spray is whether he'll need to have to pit in again. Having hit in very early. He needs to be able to last out the remainder of the race. Looks like the weather condition is now gone to clear. That track temp is going to be starting to increase. Simulator time is at double speed. The These two both probably going into the pits. No Pretender just using that slipstream all the way up until pit entrance. Pretender's goal now is just to try and put as much space over the others before he needs to head into the pits. We're going to have ample fuel to get home, so it's not going to be a stop for fuel. I'm not too sure just how tyre wear may be going for them. They have been doing a fair bit of sliding. We've got Balaki, who's got a time penalty, has been issued 2 seconds. He's exceeded track limits somewhere. Spray now moves up into 4th position as Marky Mark heads into the pits. And he's now only 6 seconds behind Corby. Both Corby and Rooney have been in and pit. He's starting to get within reach of a podium shot. There's only 6 laps to go. It can still be done. But he's within that 5th position buffer where his points should be enough to be able to hold him out. Things only come undone if there's to be incident involved, or if he isn't going to last out with that early pit stop, and we'll have to stop again. The lap times dropping off for Pretender. His last lap out there solo was a 57. That lap of 58. Starting to get the lower fuel loads. You just see just why they were getting 155s between Pretender, Corby and Rooney, just from that slipstream that they were getting between the 3 of them. So essentially creating a nice little bubble for the 3 of them just to slip around the track at a much higher speed. Even in saying that, Spray currently did a 156 previous lap. He's just done a 157. He's got some pretty good pace there. He's just had a good run of getting past some lapped cars. That's given him a bit more advantage. Slingshotting out to try and catch these race leaders. He's got 7 seconds till he's caught up with Corby. Pretzel looking to get past Dan PS Man. Just got 5 laps remaining. We're on lap 14. About to wrap it up and start lap 15. The Pretender in the lead. And he's a contender for the championship, sitting 2nd on the ladder. A great outcome for his debut with Apex eSports League. He's got a 30-second lead over Rooney. He will have to head into the pits, and it is a very long pit lane. Probably looking anywhere from 25 to 30 seconds for a stop, just depending on what they get done. They don't need to have anything done to the car. It can just be as simple as a stop and go. Corby only a few seconds behind Rooney. A little bit of spacing going on now. All drivers starting to serve their mandatory pits. We are just waiting on Pretender, I believe, out of all the drivers to pit. Everyone else has been in. Crunchy air do a link up. We've seen it happen to drivers run out of fuel right before the end of the race. We've even seen a race win stolen by drivers pulling up just before the finish line to do a victory burnout across the line, thinking they had more time up their sleeve between the car and the car behind them, and then to have them zoom past right at the checkers. Okay, sprays your uncle. Make our way through the standings. So we got poor DG with terminal damage. Stuck on the corner. And he may, if he isn't able to actually retire the car back to the pits, it may even sting him for a DQ. Actually, no, it'll be a DNF, so it won't DQ him, as he won't cross the control line without serving a pit, so that'll be lucky. He's still up for some points. We have Dan Pearsman in the 11th position. Kratzmader in position 10. Balaki in 9th. He's got a fair gap between himself and Pretzel, so his 2-second time penalty won't be an issue. And an impressive slide through turn 1. We have Simo in P8. Dan Boone in P7. Mark in 6th position. Cool Boy in 5th. Not sure, that must be Dan Pearsman that he's just gotten around. And Spray and Pray, after dropping down into 10th position and having an early pits, recovered rather nicely back up into 4th position. Bobby in 3rd, only 1 second away from Rooney now. It's probably going to be a tight battle between the two for the final couple of laps. Have Pretender in the race lead, and he will need to pit in. It's going to take about 30 seconds for the pit stop. Got Rooney only 27.8 seconds away. That'll see Rooney take that lead back. Going offline, is he having to go into the pits again? Oh, sorry, that's Pretender. I was thinking it was Rooney I was just looking at. Sorry, Corby. They got the same looking car. Pretender heading in now. You'll bring up the map. The arrow on that map is Pretender. Got Rooney and Corby. Let's stick down, pit straight. Pretender is on the move. You can see the dot on the map ahead moving away, but he's not going to be coming out in time. These two are going to be having a huge amount of pace. Pretender just joins out behind them. Corby takes that race lead. It's on lap 18. Pretender just shy of 3 seconds from the lead after serving his mandatory pit. Great, 9 seconds behind Pretender now. It's not going to matter too much if you can just hold that, as long as there's been no instance of penalties that we're unaware of. That's going to be looking pretty good. There's not going to be a whole lot of difference in points between the two. So that'll be a championship win for Spray. He hasn't got too far to go to bring the series home. And Rooney's copped a slowdown penalty. Did see tyre go off wide, so he's probably being given that, so it's 1 second. That'll be a handy little ace up the sleeve for Corby, having that 1 second penalty, so even if he does get the jump on him and slingshot around at the checkered, this is the final lap now. It's not going to be enough, so he's going to have to get ahead by a full second. Rooney just lost a fair bit of pace through turn 1. Pretender's 3.5 seconds away. 2.2 between himself and Rooney. If he can bring that down by another second or so, he could take position 2 by way of post-race time penalties. We will check out the fuel. We did have a lot of the drivers just scraping at home. Corby's got 2 litres of fuel left. On Rooney, that's going to be tight, 0.1. Play-wise, dropping back on some speed. He's going to be doing some fuel conserving here big time. So he's now down to 0. Will he make it home? Pretender's got ample fuel, 5.5 litres. Spray enough to get home. Oh, there's contact between the two. I think it may have even actually just been maybe a talk over the radio. So I'm pretty sure that's Rooney done and dusted for fuel. He is empty. Spray nearly makes contact. That gives Spray the podium spot. I think Pretender was going to potentially be trying to push Rooney all the way back around. And then we have Corby taking the checkers in the final round. Pretender P2. Now championship leader on the podium, P3. But he was needing to be able to secure those big points for the championship. Cool boy up in fourth. He's run slightly wide. Not sure if that'll be a slowdown request there. Could be seen as a speed advantage coming out on that exit curb. That is the case. That could see Marky Mark move up a spot. No, it wasn't enough to be able to warrant one. So Cool Boy in fourth, Marky Mark in fifth. Dan in sixth position. Oh, we're seeing some weird stuff going on from Rooney. Camera going ballistic. Oh, I think Pretzels also ran out of fuel. And it looks like Rooney's car is glitching all around. You can see that red flashing car destroying Pretzel's car, trying to get it home. Actually, no, I think he's stuck in Rooney's car. That's what's going on. He hasn't run out of fuel. He's actually clipped with Rooney's car. He's constantly taking damage, and as you can see, his car flipping in and out. There's some very weird stuff. This series has seen some very strange technical and other in-game dramas going on, so it's been rather interesting to see. But there we have the final for the Formula Rookie Cup in Division 2. Corby 387 taking the final race, and then followed by the rest of the podium is Pretender in position 2 and Spray and Pray in position 3. And then we've got Cool Boy, Dan Boone, Simo Simsel, Balaki, Rooney, Dan PS Man, Pretzelnator, and DG. Had to get DNF on the first lap after taking that terminal damage, so very unfortunate there. So we'll be inviting in our podium finishers. We'll have Corby, Pretender, and Spray in here in a moment. Then we'll be getting ready to jump over for Division 1. There we go. Right, shot out to our podium finishers. Spray's joined us. Congratulations on the podium, Spray. I'm pretty sure that's got you the championship win.
I think it has. Thanks heaps, JT.
That was a good comeback after dropping back to 10th position pretty early on and having that early pit. What was happening there?
I think me, Pretzel got together on the second corner, and then as I was going through that sweeping right-hander, DG, I don't know what happened, if like we sort of lagged or whatever, but it was like he just shot into the side of me, but I don't know if it was, what really happened, but no. Also, sorry JT, could I just give a shout out to my mum and dad for watching every week. I got in a bit of trouble last week. And Kato for helping. Yeah, Kato for helping with the practice with Dad. Much appreciated.
Yeah, it's good to see the support there, and you had all your mates here cheering you on as well in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to rewatch that and see what they said about me. All bad stuff, I reckon.
And we got Corby in here now. Yeah, congratulations on the win, mate.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. That was good fun. Just try to make it like good close racing, so we had good communication going. Everyone's inside, outside, so we avoided contact, and unfortunately Rooney ran out of fuel on the second last corner.
Yep.
So yeah, so Steve Bradbury here got a nice third place on the box. But yeah, look, Pretender and Rooney were driving really consistent. My pit strategy put tyres on. I thought I turned it off, so I had to peg Rooney back there for a few laps, and then Pretender coming out right on top of us again. So Yeah, it was a good race and a good series. So
Yeah,
I
it was
think,
fun seeing you three swapping position just about every lap.
yeah, yeah. To be honest, I didn't want to lead because I didn't want to get on the draft train going down the straight. I was happy sitting there. So, but look, for an open wheel series, I think the carnage was pretty minimal and everyone drove really well. And I think it's great for Apex to have the two divisions running, and it's onwards and upwards.
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
been great to see. And congratulations, Pretender.
Yeah, thanks, JT. That was
Good
a good
outcome.
race. It was. I really enjoyed the first half of it. It was really good, sportsmanship there and racing. We were looking after each other in a way, but being competitive at the same time. So,
Yep,
and
good to see.
big,
And then should
big
be a podium for the
congratulations.
championship too.
Yeah, which is a great. I think big congratulations to Spray. I think he got it.
Yeah, I think so. Thanks, man.
Yeah, good work. So,
It was
Yeah,
great having you on board
congratulations,
for your
guys.
first round. That close.
yeah,
Great
thank you.
work.
Yeah, it was great. Great bunch of guys, and I'll be sticking to it. So,
Great
I
to
think we're
see.
heading up Division 1, which might be a bit more scary.
Yeah. Can we not move up, please?
I think he'll do well in the Porsches.
Yeah, hopefully.
Forward to
Yeah,
seeing
see
you
how
next
we
week
go.
doing it all again.
Yeah, but again, quick shout out to all the guys I've been practicing with. They know who I was, and a lot of the guys have been helpful with the setups once again. So can't thank them enough, particularly being new to the league.
That's great to hear. Congrats, guys.
Thanks,
We'll see you
JT. Good
next
luck
week.
with Div 1.
Thanks, JT.
Thanks,
Great
JT.
racing, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
great work.
There we have our podium finishers, Corby 387 taking the checkers, and then Pretender in P2 and Spray and Pray in P3, and that should be the championship win for Spray and Pray, so well done to Spray. So we'll be getting ready to head over into Division 1's final race as well. So it'll be 15 minutes of qualifying, then another 19 laps around Fuji GP. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes just while we set up that lobby and get all the drivers sorted, and hopefully no technical issues with disconnects like we saw last week at Donington. So do stay tuned, we'll be back very shortly. welcome back for session 2 of the Formula Rookie Cup. We're in Division 1 now, and then we're at Japan for the Fuji GP for the final round. And then game session time is now 1 PM. Weather conditions are clear, and track length is 3.9 kilometers, and there's 16 turns, and it's a great track for these cars to be thrown around, as we just saw for Division 2. With a great race run by Corby, Rooney and Pretender having a constant battle throughout the entirety of the race until running out of fuel on the second last corner. So coming very close. And then should have seen Spray win the championship after taking the podium. DK Rush, the championship leader, coming into the final round. And a similar situation to points difference with Pretender and Spray for Division 2. With Coco Dog and DK Rush rather close for the championship. So that Coco Dog just slightly closer points-wise. The two end up finishing relatively close to each other. Shouldn't be any dramas in securing the win for DK. We'll make our way through all the drivers. There's Dirty Monkey up there doing it on the controller. And Mick Cliff. It's been having a good run in these cars as well. Coming fourth in the championship is 10 points behind Gallen for E50. We did see Mick on the podium for the last couple of rounds as well. We have another good strong finish tonight. We could have enough points to be able to bump through and get around Gallen for the championship points, and then see himself on the podium to finish up. Sami, it's all drivers now out on the track. Over to DK's car. Now that he's gotten out of the pits, I'm sure he feels he's waiting off in the pits to come out a little bit later, try and use some potential slipstream to help his qualifying position. Or if he's doing some final fine tuning, the drivers just wrapping up their first out lap, so this will be the first time laps for the qualifying session. Doggy Daddy. To Steph. Saw some great battles last week between Steph and Philly. Philly trying to get around Steph, but she had a fantastic car that would just absolutely power through out of those corners and along the straights. There's first time laps of the Gallen being the first to get a time on the board. We have Vortex, who debuted with us for this series. Vortex has had his lap time invalidated for exceeding track limits. We have Philly Manilli, and I think that may be DK just in behind him. Actually, it was Head Farmer that was in behind. I think Head Farmer, different car livery, so they're running the same as DK. That is DK that's tucked in behind. Dirty Monkey and Cocoa Dog both coming through some pretty good first time laps. The others a little bit more cautious on those first laps in the 202 and 208. Cocoa Dog setting a 156. Doggy Daddy a 158. Cliff also in with a 158. Army up and down after getting a 157. Just in the session gone, we saw 55s, 54s being set towards the back end of the session. Hopefully no technical issues going on. We did have a slight delay with end up restarting of the qualifying session for Division 1 last week. Oh, and Vortex just copped himself 2 grid place penalties, having sped in the pits. That's going to be costly to him. And DK straight up with a 156. And a lot of that speed courtesy of Philly, and then he just turned in, making some contact. Okay, holds pole 156.038. Soundboard for a lap around Fuji. He's running nice and light with only 6 litres of fuel for this lap. Like he's got a couple of fast cars up ahead that he's going to be able to use. They're just far enough ahead. So they're going to be able to catch up to them by the end of the lap and have a good run or slipstream for that pit straight. Potentially see an even quicker time. We'll slide out onto that exit curb. Only 3 tenths quicker than his 156. That's going to see him down into the 155 bracket. Very tight line, and he's catching these guys very quick. He's on an out lap here. I do believe it's Philly and DK that's just ahead. A little bit of oversteer through the first corner in the chicane. Now half a second up on his current pole time, so we're going to be on board for a golden lap here. Hey Christian, and we can't see you on track tonight. Thanks for joining in for the stream. Yeah, King Duo on 54. Yep, would not be surprised. With the slipstream he's going to be getting here, can he be braking even more? That's 0.7 better than his previous. That's a fantastic time. Like it was Philly that just ran off through turn 1 just ahead of them. DK almost getting caught up with Philly again at the same corner. I think he was put off quite a fair bit of pace. This could be a good opportunity for DK to tuck in behind Coco now. Mick Cliff makes his way up into position 2, a 156.150. Gallen setting a 156.228. There's just under 5.5 minutes remaining of qualifying. Farmer qualifying 4 for 156.684, and 4 tenths away from Gallen. Farmer 2 tenths further back. There's only 3.7 seconds separating 11 drivers. Coco improves his time there. That's a 154.836. Gets a little bit loose through turn 1. I think he was pushing a lot of speed down into that first corner. He had a great run down pit straight. That's probably going to be pretty hard pole time to beat now. Vortex, after having his 2 grid place penalties, he has qualified 7th. Throwing a fair bit of smoke. He was coming through that corner. I'm not sure if that was a bit of high slip as he was going around the final turn. Vortex needing to try and bump himself up a few more spots to compensate for those grid place penalties, and he does it. He's moved up into 5th position. Mick Cliff has been moved down into 4th. Both the Head Farmer and Gallen improving their times. Head Farmer now in 3rd, setting a 156.082. And Gallen are almost a 156 flat. Championship leader DK Rush currently qualifying 7th. Will improve his time here. He's got Coco in his toe again. He improves that time drastically. Moves up into P2. 155.902. That lap won't have been a good lap for Coco. He did go into that spin at the start of that lap. He's on fire here. Can we see him break that 154.8? We have Steph currently qualifying in 11th. She's 3.8 seconds only off that whole time. There's not a whole lot of difference in that. These times are very tight. Dirty Monkey currently parked up, so it's going to be done for him for this qualifying session. Really qualifying 8th so far. Qualifying 5th. Doggy Daddy now bringing the car in the pit. That's him done for qualifying. 35 seconds remain. That'll be last laps for most of the drivers. Unless there's any that are coming up close to wrapping the lap. Otherwise they will have enough time just to get that one more lap in. DK keeping close with Coco's position. There's only a few points difference between the two. It's 25 points up for grabs for pole position. DK's parked up the car for the recessions. That's him done. Same as Gallant. I think Head Farmer's just completed a lap. That looks like AI driving the car. He's currently qualified 7th of a 156.814. Can he improve it here? He bumps up a spot, so it takes 6th position. Let's move Vortex down into 7th. He's going to lose a couple of spots. There's 65 seconds left to get the last lap done. There's only Coco Dog and Steph on track. Does Coco Dog improve his 54.836? He does. Gets it down to a 54.597. He had the pole position in the bag, but still beats that time on the final lap. It was being just about rally car out there. And I'll see Steph getting it across the line for the end of qualifying in the final round of the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. Coco Dog takes pole position, and then the rest of the grid: DK, Rush, Gallen, 350, Head Farmer, Mickliffe, Sami, and then we've got Vortex, who will move down 2 spots. He'll be shoved down to P9, and then we'll see Philly move up into position 7, and Dirty Monkey into position 8, and then Doggy Daddy in 10th, followed by Steph in 11th. Over onto the grid now. If you are joining us to stream, don't forget to hit that follow button. We are live with Project Cars 2 on Thursday night, 7:30 PM Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And we've also got iRacing on Monday nights at the same time. We are starting round 1 of Porsche Series next week, so it's going to be pretty exciting for both iRacing and Project Cars. Being the Porsche Cayman GT4s and Project Cars, and the Porsche 911 GT3R in iRacing. So both great cars to race. It's going to be very exciting to see. And also don't forget to check out our social media links down below, so fb.com/Apex Esports League, where you can keep up to date with results and standings, and see the outcome of any incident reports after we do post-race stewarding. And then we have our YouTube channel, the bit.ly/ApexESL, and that is case sensitive, so you'll have to enter it in as you see it on the screen there. This is a shortened link to our YouTube channel, and all our past broadcasts are saved there, because we only get a couple of weeks after streaming live on Twitch before the videos are removed. So all of our previous ones are all saved there, so lots of racing action to go back through and check out, and you can see your favourite drivers, how they've progressed over their time in the league. Here we are, all the drivers have hit that ready button. We're about to see the lights go green. last time for Div 1 in the Formula Rookies. Look at Coco, absolutely flying away. He's going to need to try and stay ahead of DK, but he's starting to drop back just slightly. I think DK's got him. He's going to have enough track position to hold that line. He's feeling some pressure from Gallen. Well, I think that may have been Philly that's just gone off in turn 1. Coco takes back the lead. Side by side with lots of distance between the two. Will Gallen decide to sneak up between the two and get them? Okay, a bit of swapping and changing going on here. Dirty Monkey, Vortex and Mick Cliff looking to get amongst the mix. This is very tight knit. It's going to be pretty interesting seeing a good length of tow train coming onto pit straight if these drivers all keep very tight on this first lap. DK's got a 1.2 second gap. Ooh, a lot of pace dropped off from Coco. Not sure if that caused Gallen to lock up or he might have just made it a slight touch. We're going to be seeing some huge speed coming down here. All the cars on that rev limiter as they're coming down into turn 1. Okay, starting to close that gap in on DK now. A little bit of slip from DK. Vortex moved up into position 3. Dirty Monkey was the middle of 3 wide between Gallen and Vortex. So it's Dirty Monkey, Mick and Gallen there, sorry. Coco takes the race lead again. Vortex starting to quickly close in. Thanks to get a lot of slip coming through the final corner. Army dropped down into 11th position. That's Billy just up ahead. Maybe that he was right on the tail of Gallen for a moment. Gallen makes a pass on Dirty. Dirty manages to hold his line. It's not an easy feat to do, so when you're doing it from a controller as well, it's much harder to try and battle side by side as you're having to constantly make small adjustments to your steering using the analog stick rather than having the finer control of the steering wheel. DK has got huge pressure from Vortex, starting the gauge for an opening. Seems to have a little bit more pace. Bit of a lock. Mick almost turns around in front of Gallen. Vortex drops off just slightly. And again, seeing him take that corner, hitting that rear right wheel. Okay, did just close in a little bit, but started to drop back on that last corner. He's not going to have enough toe to be able to slingshot around and make a move. Gallen does, gets the pass on Mick Clifton, now that moves up into 4th position. Dirty also looking to try and get around Mick. Did line himself up, but didn't have enough distance to be able to commit to a pass on that corner. Best Army and Philly nice and close here. The deja vu between Philly and Steph from Donington Park. They're having a very long battle with Philly. Managed to hold him off for many laps. Drops off just slightly. He's still keeping some pretty consistent pace. His last lap of 155.567. Coco set a 155.461. Starting to pull away from Dirty, but Dirty seems to get a good amount of run through that last corner. We're about to start lap 5. We have 14 to go. A race lead is Coco Dog. About 50 odd points difference between Coco Dog and DK. I think Coco may have just ran wide on that corner. He's recovered quickly and still within a decent gap between himself and DK. That toe will be able to drag him back in quickly. Vortex starting to drop off slightly. That's going to see Gallen quickly close in. There's about a second difference between the two on that last lap. It's looking like there's a lot of rear wheel slip through most of the corners from Vortex. I think it is seeming to be a little bit more so the right rear. You see a cloud of smoke. Helmet cam down to see if it's similar blocking issues or slip issues Vortex's car, the hairpin. See Coco and DK battling up just ahead. Don't forget, when you join for the stream, we do have all those sound effects controls underneath, so you can cheer and applaud your favourite drivers. Don't be shy and do jump into the chat, let us know here to cheer on. Who you think is going to take the win tonight? See that same consistent pace that we've had from DK and Coco Dog, or either of them take the win. We see our next few who are quickly moving up and closing that gap to our race lead. Gallon having some huge pace here. Head into the pits, going for an early pit strategy. Well, lap 7s, we're nearing the halfway point. We could potentially see a few more peel off. We haven't had to have any going for an early stop. That was unexpected due to damage. That last lap around, Coco Dog was a tenth quicker than DK. I wouldn't be surprised if he's just going to sit in behind now. Gallon re-enters the track in position 10. Got some weird time data. It's now back and updated, so it's about 34 seconds away from the race lead. It's about 30 seconds for a pit stop. With Gallon now not being caught up, the other cars around him that he is battling with, he's going to have a good free run on track for a while. And if the other drivers start to peel off to the pits over the coming laps, it could be a good opportunity to be able to really grab some momentum and move on up. That could potentially see him come out close to the race lead. Okay, gets back out in the front. DK dropping back 7 tenths. The Vortex now healing up from the pits as well. I'll see Dirty Monkey and Mick Cliff up into P3. Army and Doggy Daddy also move on up. F now in the pits. Army and Philly move up. Sorry, Philly slightly runs off wide. Out onto the tarmac, so didn't put it into a spin. track does have ample room for runoff. We've got a couple of drivers of post-race time penalties, 2 seconds to Dirty Monkey and 2 seconds to Philly. On lap 9 now. A little bit wide for DK through turn 1. Lost that momentum that he was catching on Coco. Philly making a pass on Doggy Daddy as he comes down the turn 1. A little bit of slipping out, a fair bit of speed to shave off into the corner. Got Vortex and Gallen. Back with only about 2 seconds between the two. They've both been in and served their mandatory pit. And they're 35 seconds from the race lead now. Coco and DK can keep this pace up. That should be enough of a safety net to be able to get into the pits and come back out. But it's only going to be leaving 1 or 2 seconds. Just depending on how their pit stop goes. Their pit strategy isn't set quite right. They could really go in and end up having tyres swapped out and adding those extra seconds on when it may not be needed. Had many a race won and lost all by pit stop. Here those cars absolutely revving off their heads on that limiter down the straight. They passed the halfway mark now. We're on lap 10 of 19. Philly now heads into the pits. Standings as of lap 10. So Steph on lap 9, she's in position 11. Ed Farmer in 10th. Bill Manelli in the pits at the moment in position 9. Vortex in 8th. Gallen in 7th. Both Vortex and Gallen having pit. Doggy Daddy yet to head in, so they'll recover a position there. Gallen in 7th, Doggy Daddy in 6th, Sami in 5th. Sounds like a car just recovering up ahead. Dirty Monkey up in 4th position. Nick Cliff in 3rd. Championship leader DK Rush in position 2. And our race lead Coco Dog is running 2nd in the championship. They only had about a 50-point difference, I think, between the two. And two qualified next to each other, so there's only a difference of 2 points. And if they take first and second, it's 240 points for the win, 216 points for position 2. If the two stay where they are, it's going to be securing a win for DK. If anything goes wrong for DK and he starts to drop down several positions, he's going to be putting himself at pretty big risk. And that'll allow a big opportunity for Coco Dog to be able to take the championship win on the final round. Starting to see some pretty quick lap times now. 155's being set by a race lead. Sami also getting with a 155. DK about 3 tenths quicker in that 55 bracket, but he has had that toe for a little while. Ooh, DK's just made contact to the wall. It looked like a hefty hit as he was coming into the pits. Not sure if he wasn't too sure where the limiter requirement was, but if he's taken damage, that could actually lengthen his pit stop now. Mick Cliff moves up into second place. This is where it'll be interesting. We had Gallon make the first pit. He's sitting about 35 seconds away from the lead. Not too long of a stop, but that will see Gallon move up a position. That wall contact in the pits, costing DK. He's also had another position to Vortex, who's also been in and served his mandatory pit. Once we get some accurate time data, as we're seeing, DK is about 2 minutes difference from race lead. He's now 45 seconds behind. The pit stop taking probably about an extra 10 to 15 seconds than needed. We will be racing Gallon and Vortex. All for position. At that gap, with a very efficient pit stop, Coco Dog will be able to come back out in the lead. Without that pressure from DK, slightly relaxed and dropping off a little bit on the lap time. He's getting into the 156 now. And track temperatures are likely starting to drop off a little bit. It looks like it's clouded over a fair bit. Weather was to progress into heavy clouds, so it looks like it's done so now. Doggy Daddy heads into the pits. DK moves back up a position. He's in 7th. He's a couple of seconds behind Vortex. He's only 9 seconds away from Gallon. We will need to see Sami, Dirty Monkey, McCliff and Coco Dog heading to the pits. The big question will be whether Coco Dog can keep doing some very quick laps out there. Keep that gap, or if he heads into the pits now, gets it out of the way. Looks like he stays out on track for another lap. About to start lap 14, 5 to go. Fair bit of slip there from DK, but also with Vortex. DK, you can see that right rear locking up. Slipping out, should I say, not locking up. Vortex's car has been doing it whole session. I'm rather curious just what the setup is for the car to be behaving in that way. Dirty's gone into the pits. Let's see, Vortex, Gallon and DK move up. DK probably feeling a bit of pressure here. He needs to try and close as many positions as he can. He needs to stay nice and close to Coco's finish position. And when he's 44 seconds away, and starts to have some cars that are racing him for position here. DK just slightly gets ahead, but not on the right line for the next corner. Vortex misjudges the chicane. Drivers almost interlock. DK gets around. And keep that pace. We've got Mick Cliff going into the pits now. It's a nice quick release. Let's see Gallon move up a position. Our leading drivers, Pagnian position 2 and Coco Dog the race lead. They both do need to pit. They'll have 3 laps to do so now. Head Farmer and Dirty Monkey battling for position 7. Vortex still hanging on to DK. The Mick re-enters after his pit stop in at position 4. DK is racing Mick for position. Lap times starting to drop off for all drivers as the track temperatures are starting to cool off. Seeing 56, 57 lap times. even with tows and the light loads of fuel, those lap times are quickly dropping off. Coco will need to keep an eye on that gap between himself and Gallen. Gallen's starting to bring that gap in. He's nearly half a second quicker the last lap. He's got 35 seconds on him. It could be enough to be able to pit in and come back out in the race lead. DK's moved on up into position 3 now. He's gotten around Mick. Should be sufficient enough gap between positions between himself and Coco. It's about 48 points difference between first and third. We'll bring up the timings board. You see he's got the fastest lap of the race so far, so that's an extra 5 points that can be up their sleeve for it. That looks like it's a 1:54.840. That's going to be pretty hard to beat. That's been done by Coco. Battle going on between Mick and Vortex. Strong lap 17 now. Okay, head on in this lap, or will it be the next? Stays out for another time around. Spencer's lap 18, he will need to pit this lap. He's now got 38 seconds between himself and Gallen. Should be enough if his pit goes to plan. Should be in and out around the 32nd, 35 at worst. Vortex putting some pressure on Mick. Vortex getting a good 2-car slip here. Probably going to be able to commit to a move. It's going to be enough momentum to get out and around. Mick did defend that inside line last lap. I think it's going to hold off again. Nearly make wheel contact. DK runs a tad wide. Also got Farmy, Head Farmer and Dirty closing in. All drivers have pit except for Coco Dog. So everyone's racing for position. In comes Coco. bring up the map. So he's got a good amount of gap between himself and Gallant. That's good approach into pit lane. Gallant just on the approach into the final corner now. Should be a quick release. Doesn't have any damage to contend with. A lot of these remember that pit limiter. He's gonna just come out ahead of Gallant. Gallant is flying along. Just comes out ahead. Gallant looking good for a podium opportunity. Just sitting about 5th position when he decided to pit in rather early. The early pit strategy has really paid off here. He's managed to come out only 3 seconds behind the race lead on the final lap. Current rate is going to be about, I think, 47-point difference between DK and Coco Dog. I'm pretty sure it was very similar to that in championship points. Sorry, no, I have got that mixed up. It is 10 points for fastest lap of the race in the final round. It's not the 5 points from the standard rounds. And here comes Coco Dog to take the checkered flag. It's going to be a clean sweep potentially for the final round. Could almost be enough to get just scrape through on championship points. Gallant takes position 2 on the podium. DK Rush in position 3. Mick Cliff in 4th. Vortex in 5th. Ed Farmer in 6th position. Sami in 7th. He's also got time penalty, but so does Dirty. So Dirty remains in 8th. Manili coming up in 9th position. Blows it right down across the line. I think we almost be seeing all drivers finish on the same lap. It'll be great to see. There's 36 seconds remaining. There's only 53 seconds separating the field. Doggy Daddy in position 10. Not often we get to see that. All drivers crossing the line, so no DNFs. And Steph crosses in 11th. There we have the final round at Fuji GP for the Pagnian Imports Formula Rookie Cup. Coco Dog taking the victory. And does he still hold the fastest lap bonus points? He's got, yes, 1 minute 54.840. So he's made a clean sweep in the final round, so congratulations to Coco Dog. And then Gallant 350 on the podium in position 2, and DK Rush in position 3. And the rest of the standings we have Mick Cliff, Vortex, Head Farmer, Sami, Dirty Monkey, Philly Manili, Doggy Daddy, and Steph. And then all drivers finishing up the full 19 laps and getting across the line. So only a minute 21 gap in the end, so that's fantastic to see. So we'll be inviting in our podium finishers of Coco, Gallon and DK in here in a moment. Invites shot through to the guys. We should see them join momentarily. Pekadog, congratulations, clean sweep in the final round.
Yeah, thanks.
A good way to finish up. It could potentially be a very close outcome for the championship as well.
Yeah.
So I think it was very close in the points difference between first and third, and then with taking those fastest lap bonus points, it could be enough to just scrape over the mark. So it's going to be a very close outcome.
Yeah, it is.
So he's leaving it to the very bare points right at the end.
Yeah, it was good though.
Yeah. Congratulations, Gallant.
Cheers.
Taking podium. That early pit stop paid off nicely.
Yeah, I gave up to the last corner. I gave Coco Dog. I don't know if he must have gear changed or tapped the brake or something. A bit in a weird spot for me. Gave him a bit of a tap up the backside, and next thing you know, I got 2 damage arrow on the front.
Ah, okay.
Drove with it, and then I'm like, okay, this is getting a bit hairy, and thought I'll pit early, and that paid off in the end.
Yep. Yeah, you could just see just slowly coming out around that pit stop time as they were all peeling in, and seeing you're probably going to just scrape out near the race lead by the time they all peel off.
I was stoked. I didn't get caught up with any of the other guys. I've seen Steph coming up, and I'm like, alright, what's Steph going to do? And she pulled off to the pits, and I'm like, okay, I got at least 5-6 laps of clean racing now. But yeah, well done, Coco. Top win, top drive.
Thanks, you guys. Good job.
Thanks, mate. And DK, well done, buddy, up on the podium.
Yeah, congrats, mate.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah, congrats, Coco, on the win, mate. It's going to make it very, very close for the points. So
First win.
should be, first clean sweep. You're right. You were faster than everyone during the week anyway, so I knew you were going to be hard to keep up with.
Yeah,
And then,
setting a 154.840 in the race. That was pretty early
Very
on
quick.
too, I believe. So
yeah. And,
very quick.
Yeah,
It was
no,
fun.
thanks JT for another great series, mate.
Yep,
As
no
always.
worries.
And I just want to give a shout out to Mrs. Philly, Jenna. Thanks for all your support, really appreciate it. And here's to coming for the Porch series. Looking forward to it.
Thanks,
Yeah,
my
it should
engineer,
be
Lord
exciting.
Voldemort.
Yeah, I'd like to thank just Gallant 350 Racing.
Great racing.
It was hard, but good fun. Well done, everybody.
Yeah,
Awesome
it's
job.
done good. Great series of racing, and I think it should be more fun seeing it done in the Porsches.
And a big shout out to Spray in Div 2. I think he might have sealed that championship. Well done, buddy.
Yeah,
We'll
fantastic
see you in the
result.
Porsche for Div 1.
Yeah, that we rule. Yeah, he said thanks. He's in the chat.
Good job. Well done,
Yeah,
everybody.
congratulations, guys. Great series, great race.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank you,
JT.
JT. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And then we have our podium finishers. Coco Dog taking the clean sweep in the final round. A great way to finish up a series. And Gallon 350 in P2 and DK Rush in P3. And then do check out our Facebook page in the coming days as we post up the results. This is going to be a very close outcome for the Formula Rookies in Division 1. So will it be Coco Dog or DK? Will he have just enough points to stay ahead? And if it is, it's only going to be a win by a matter of 1 or 2 points, I do believe. So do stay tuned to that and follow the page if you haven't done so. We will be back again next week. We've got the opening round of the Pagnian Imports Porsche Cayman Cup. So that's in the Porsche Cayman GT4s. And they're a great car. We've done a series in them before and they've been a lot of fun. And then round 1 will be at Barcelona. Round 2 we're at Zhuhai International. And then we've got Nürburgring for round 3. Round 4 we're at Algarve, I do believe it's pronounced. And then the final round is the Bruno GP, and it's a fantastic track as well. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the follow button if you haven't done so already, so you can be notified when we go live. And we'll be live again next with iRacing on Monday nights. Otherwise, we'll be back again for Project Cars 2 on Thursday night. So thanks for tuning in, and thanks for supporting us through a great opening series to the year 2022. And it's going to be a great year of racing ahead. So hope to see you trackside next time.